everybody, it's Gypsy. So there's something, this has always bothered me, but over the last couple days it's been bothering me more. So I'd say several years ago, I wanted to do away with labels, especially for myself. Because what I noticed is when you put a label on yourself, um, you don't truly think for yourself. You're not critically thinking. Because once you put that label on yourself, every tenant, everything, say, well, a religion, okay, you have to believe, okay, and this goes politically, whether you're Republican, Democrat, whatever, Libertarian, it doesn't matter. Any label, it's like you have to jam yourself into that box, and you cannot deviate from it. And I have a hard time with that because I'm one of those. I just like dwell on things and I think about it a lot. I analyze. I just don't take even, I was a Christian for 45 years of my life, and although I did not typically voice it, especially as a child, um, I questioned a lot. I doubted a lot. I didn't believe a lot of what I was told. Um, and, I'm just any group you belong to. So I realized for me it was labels. If I said I was a Christian, if I said I was a Republican, if I said I was Democrat, I had to adhere to everything those groups believed, whether in my heart I did or not. Okay? And I think when we do that, we're not being true to ourselves. And we need to be true to ourselves before we're true to anybody else. And so the other day I went to a meeting. Um, and like I told you guys, I tend have a tendency to lean more conservative. I have more old fashioned ideas, I guess, but not all of them. There are ones that would be considered, I guess, if you want to put labels, more liberal, more modern, whatever. Um, in this meeting was about something going on in my state that would greatly affect this beautiful county I live in. And there are things going on politically that do concern me. And so I attended this meeting to see what can be done about this situation because this would definitely take away a lot of freedom from people. You would, let's just say, you would not be able to live as you choose. Okay? So, anyways, and yes, this was, I would say it's a conservative meeting. I would definitely go. Well, it was Republican. They came right out and said it, which was a problem for me because I really, although in the last election I was forced to choose either Democrat or Republican, which really upset me. Um, I had to choose Republican based on how I feel, especially what we were voting on at that time. It was a special election. So I had to choose a label there when I don't really feel I fit in that either. I couldn't choose Democrat either because I don't fit in that. I fit in that less, I will admit that. So I go to this meeting, and it is normal because I do lean more conservative. Most of the stuff they talked about I agreed with, but there were, I'd say, more things than I wanted that came up that I do not agree with. Okay. And for someone like me, some people look at me as a fence sitter because I think about both sides. And I'm also so much into freedom. I believe in freedom so much that I believe everybody, so long as they're not hurting anyone else, they're not affecting anyone else's lifestyle choices, should be able to live as they want. Regardless, I really don't give a, I'm sorry, there's a bug over here, an aversion to anything in particular, unless you're like a serial killer and, something along those lines. Then I have an aversion to that lifestyle, okay? But and I don't feel it's my right to tell people how to live, what to do with themselves. I mean, it's just not who I am. So I have told you guys I was a Christian for the first 45 years of my life. That was one of the things I was concerned about, because I attended this meeting not for religious reasons, but for concern over my community. Now, I do recall learning in elementary school that in our country, you have the freedom to choose whatever religion you want or not. Okay? Yet, I go to these meetings, and these meetings are supposed to be about freedom, and it seems to be a prerequisite. So, it was a potluck meeting. So it was dinner. And, grace was said beforehand. Now, I really don't have a problem with that, because when it comes to faith, I have no label. The only definite thing I could say with labels is I am definitely not an atheist. Okay, I believe there is a creator God. I do. I believe in one. I know there are others who believe in several gods or whatever. And someone like me in my position, well, I can't help but know there's an afterlife. It's there with me every moment of every day of my life. I can't deny that there is. So I have a lot of faith, okay? But I'm definitely not a Christian. I'm definitely not Jewish. I'm definitely not Muslim. I can't even put a label on myself. If I'm forced into it, I might say spiritualist, but I don't even think I can do that. I can't. And I found if I put myself in a box, if I put a label on myself, put myself in a box, that prevents me from growing. It does. I become so close-minded that I'm not willing to see or accept or hear or learn anybody else's viewpoint or experiences or their knowledge, nothing. So it keeps me from growing. Now, that being said, when it comes to what is going on in our communities, when it comes to what's going on with our country, when it comes to what's going on globally, that should have absolutely nothing to do with religion. Okay? Now, I think like I said, saying grace doesn't upset me. I believe there's a God. I believe that the Creator created this planet and put everything we need on this planet for us to survive. Okay? So, giving thanks, I don't usually formally pray. For me, it's an energetic thing. I feel very, very, very strong gratitude a lot. So that didn't bother me. What did bother me, I can't even remember what we were talking about, but somebody said, we must have been talking about certain people. I don't know who, though, because they lost me a lot. Said, oh, they don't even go to church. And this one woman, she just got really angry. She's like, that's right. And she yelled at, that's right. And they have no morals. Well, going to church does not make or break morals. I was Christian for 45 years of my life. You want to hear some of the things I have seen in the church, that I have seen individual Christians do, things that were done to me and my children. You don't even want to go there with me. That has nothing to do with your morals. So they do lose me. I need to check my camera. My thing is trying to... Oh, my storage is low. Okay, so anyways. That's been bothering me. So I believe if we want to get the United States back to being a free country, and everybody on this planet being free, we need to put aside certain differences because we are all individuals. When it comes to our faith, religiously or anything, it has a lot to do with our life experiences. And there is no one religion that's all right and no one religion that's all wrong. I'm sorry, it's my viewpoint, okay? You can dispute me on it, it's not going to work. Because I had asked the two people I was talking to there, very nice people, I said, I'm picking up that there's a lot of religion in this group meeting. I said, is it going to offend people that I'm not a Christian? Well, immediately the gentleman I was talking to was like, oh, do you want me to prophesy Christ or proclaim Christ to you? I said, okay. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I should have prefaced this by saying I was a Christian for the first 45 years of my life, and there isn't anything you could say that I haven't already heard or knew or learned, whatever. I said, that's not the point. The point is, are people going to be offended? Is this going to cause any problems? And that's when the woman said, no, this isn't really about religion. There's a lot of Christians here, but I really felt that it was. And I did once on Twitter do a survey asking, does a patriot have to be a Christian? And the answer was yes. And I thought, well, that's weird because now to me, when I hear the word patriot, I think of patriotic, someone who loves their country. And there's nothing, I think it's perfectly fine to love your country. So I consider myself a patriot. I don't like what's going on, but I love my country. And one of the things I used to love about my country the most was freedom. Now, freedom is something you consistently need to work on. It's a growth process, okay? So, that's a whole other video. But anyways, and I want to see that come back. But if we want that, we have to work together and put aside differences such as religion, how we personally feel about how others live. Because if that person is not affecting you or your lifestyle, or not hurting anybody, then it's not your business. And, leave it alone. I only care that everybody's happy. I think if you're going around hurting people, you're not a happy person. So anyways, I just think if we need to fix what is going on with humanity on this planet, we need to put that aside. Our common goal is freedom. That's our common goal. That's what we all have in common. We all want to be free. So we need to forget the other stuff. And I know there are going to be those of you who disagree with me. That's okay. You're allowed to. It's called freedom. It's called freedom of speech. Now, what I won't allow is any rudeness or meanness on my channel. So you can make a comment as long as it's in an adult, polite fashion. I know it's just been bothering me. I think we should just get rid of labels, be true to ourselves, and be ourselves. That's the biggest key to freedom, is being true to yourself, regardless of what the bigwigs are doing. But we need, in order to combat what's going on, we need to unite. Put religion aside, put the labels aside, left, right, Democrat, Republican, whatever's in your country, put it aside. Because we have a battle to fight. And I don't mean physically. I do not believe in violence. There isn't anything going on anywhere in this universe that cannot, that cannot be done without violence. Nothing requires violence, is what I'm saying. Peaceful rebellion. Yeah, I always like that term. But anyways, we need to be united for that, put our stupid little differences aside, because the one thing we all want is freedom. So I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be. and make it a joyful one.